he was supposed to just gingerly feed it over the couch. Just guide it right over the couch and over my shoulder. I start hearing this like grunting going on. The snake is not cooperating with its handler. And I kind of look over the couch, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but he's doing this. He's like trying to throw this, he's kicking it, he's like punching it, and I'm like, don't send that my way! I got 180 pounds of pissed off snake coming over
And the way the scene was written was Sam was supposed to be like laughing at his brother's discomfort, but I was like, this is terrifying, I'm out of here. So I just walked outside.
I have this like log coming over my shoulder. And Jared just gets up and is like, nope. Not doing it. Meanwhile, it's like, okay, well, I can't move. Because I'm frozen in terror right now.
It was the first time I've ever just flat out refused to do something that's in the script. And I didn't think I was
going to have to do anything.
I know. But I didn't think I was going to refuse it, but I was like, nope, I'm gone. And so I walked out, and I ended up in Video Village where the director sits, and Phil looked at me and he's like, hey, you're supposed to be in there. And I was like, uh-uh. And I think he saw it in my face. He didn't question or push me. I think he just saw it in my face and was like, okay, I guess go tie it around Jensen. So that we couldn't see that Sam was no longer sitting on the couch.
And what you did see, they actually cut away, but we see the snake come over my chest and kind of down, and it actually went right between my legs. And I'm not moving at this point. I'm just like, just let it do what it's gonna do. Just let it run its course, because I'm not moving. And it did. It went right and just right down, and the whole 9 feet of it. What's happening by here?
Was that for you then, the awkward things to film?
Yeah, I didn't like that. or the bees. Hey guys, we just need to make sure you're not allergic to bees. And if you get stung,
how do you do that?
And you get stung, you're not going to go into anaphylactic shock. What? How do you do that? You're like, smear something on you? Like, actually, we're just going to take this bee and sting you with it. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, it's only a 3/4 sting. And I'm not kidding. So they put this little piece of mesh on your skin, and then they hold a live bee with tweezers, and then they just stick the stinger, and it goes just through the mesh enough to get like half its stinger in you, and then they pull it out. It doesn't come off the bee, so the bee's fine.
Yeah,
but I'm not, because now I just got stung by a bee, and I've got this welt now happening on my arm. And they're like, okay, it's been 30 minutes, you're fine. I'm like, yeah, except for this, goiter on my arm right now.
It's also funny because they've asked us to do some wacky stuff on Supernatural. Jump out of this window. Don't worry, I know you can't see, but there's going to be a pad you're going to land on 12 feet down. You're like, cool. Like, spin this car into a 360, and then you're fighting this guy. Ram your head through that wall. We're like, cool. They're like, we're going to sting with a bee. We're like, no.
But then to make things worse, it's like, okay guys, time to go into set. And we walk in, all of the crew have bee outfits on. Guess what? Sam and Dean don't get to wear bee outfits. They're in regular clothing. And then the bee wrangler.
On the day of shooting.
I'm like, how many we talking here? Like a couple hundred? He's like, there's actually 60,000. I'm like,
but don't worry, they're drone bees.
I'm anaphylactic shock.
They're drone bees. They're not going to sting you unless you piss them off.
Bees, as long as you stay calm, they're calm. And I'm like, okay, stay calm. Wait a minute. When they yell action, I have a blowtorch.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be
Are they going to be cool with that? And he goes, oh. And
then we're like, what about, so you're going to release 60,000 bees, but then we're going to have to go back to the beginning of the scene where there were no bees for like take 2 and take 3 at different camera angles. He's like, yeah, we're going to vacuum them up. I was like, doesn't that piss him off? He's like, only if we do it a bunch of times. A bunch like, 20 or 30. He's like, yeah, if we do it like 3 or 4 times, they're going to be a little angry. We're like, we're going to do it like 12, 15 times.
Needless to say, we got stung. I remember just before Kim, our director, just before he yelled action, they were like, okay, roll sound, and I mean, they're all over the place. Roll sound, okay, and the camera system comes up, it's like, okay, 34 Baker, take 2. They have a marker, they run off, and I'm like kind of crouched down, and I'm like kind of flicking bees, they're on me, just landing on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, find a happy place, find a happy place. And they're like, okay, ready, and just before he yelled action, boom! One had gone right up my shirt and got me right on the upper part of my seat.
Took us.
And it was like, ready, and I was like, wait! And I reached back there and actually pulled the stinger out. I was like, okay! And then the worst part about it, the bees didn't read on film, so they ended up making it with CGI anyway. Ah, the good old days.
Thank you for asking.
I never get tired of telling that story. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Pam, and my question for you, aside from the bee episode, is there any particular episode you found really physically demanding that was really hard on you?
Yes. Skin. It was a full day plus of a fight scene. Season 11, episode 10 is pretty difficult. Or is it episode 9? 10.
Season finale 3, when Dean went to hell, and the whole hellhounds,
And then hanging.
the hanging. I was actually 13 feet suspended by wires and hooks and stuff, and that was incredibly painful. The hooks weren't real, but but then the dying to the hellhounds. I always know it's going to be a really crappy day when my wardrobe has plumbing in it. So there was literally tubes going up my shirt and a tube down my pant leg and over to a special effects guy who had a giant syringe that big, and it was just a big plunger, and it was just full of blood. And so as soon as the hellhounds go down my chest, he just starts going and up the leg, and I had to wear that shirt for like 7 hours, and it's just, by the end of it, it was like caked to me, and because the blood's just corn syrup. But yeah, that was pretty physically demanding. Dean was in a lot of fights. And I'm not as young as I was when I was season 1.
He's not.
And shut And fighting with 3 people in the back seat of a car is just physically a challenging thing.
What was awesome.
Thank you, yeah. But you know what? I love the physicality of the show, and I think he does too, and we wouldn't have it any
At
other
the end of the day, it's a great feeling.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very
Thanks.
much.
There's an episode coming up that we just filmed.
Season 11, episode 9.
Oh yeah, there was a big fight scene with 4 people, and it got sweaty. They got
4 people who you already know.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Probably top 5 new favorite music cue.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
They wrote it in the script what the song is that they're going to use for the fight scene. I can't wait.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi Ashley.
My question is, if you could only say one word for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One word?
Yeah.
What did you say, boss? Awesome. He would say love.
I would say fight. Because if I want to tell anybody anything, I want to tell them to fight. In a good way. I don't mean like fist fight.
Gentlemen,
What would you say?
I would say supercalifragilistic.
You'd win every argument.
No, and if anybody had a problem with it, I'd slap them.
And then say,
Because he told me to fight.
To the tune of supercalifragilistic.
realistic, exhalatosis.
Is it that time?
you know what time it is, guys? Stephen Norton? Ain't no more questions. It's the last question. The very last one. It's the last question. The very last one. It's the last question. Damn right. It's the last question. It's the last question. It's the last question. It's the last question.
Ladies and gents, Supernatural family, this is Angelina. Say hi, Angelina.
Pretty cool, huh?
This is your family.
Alright, what's your question?
Why pudding?
that is the last question.
That is a question.
That's a question. I don't write them. Why pudding? And not pie. She said, why pudding and not pie? It was just easier to say than mustard. It was something that I think would throw them off. Pie? The person might be like, oh, he wants pie. He's saying, but pudding, you gotta be kooky.
So true. So very true.
I love pudding.
That says a lot about you, sir. Norton, that was the last question.
Thank you.
Very last one. That was all she wrote. You didn't make sense. It was about putting pie. Who the hell knows? Ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe say,
Yes.
before we do this, one last thing. Can we all have the biggest round of applause for the people who make this happen and make it possible, the volunteers? Without which none of this would happen. Mr. Spade.
Absolutely.
Mr. Spade is here to say a farewell and a big thank you to Mr. Jensen Ackles and Mr. Jared Padalecki. Denver, you have him. You got him. There they go. only with better video. So there's a lot of stuff coming.